afternoon, everybody, here in a slightly overcast, maybe grey cloud skies here in Scunthorpe, and we're doing tile number 578. So needless to say, a little bit of blue, a little bit of green inked on my tile today. And no, I didn't leave it in the water downstairs. I did spritz it and leave it to dry in the window. So we're all good to go today. Hope everybody's all right. Regular pen pencil tortillon here and pencils. So let's get going, shall we? So I'm going to start straight in with pen. So here we go. Let's get going with this. And the idea is I'm not going to go right into the middle with this, but I'm going to start on one end. Here we go. Doesn't matter whereabouts. So let's start here. Let's go in from the middle kind of thing, like so. And I'm going to put myself a little bit of a curl like that. Okay, so just taking my time, bringing it back up again. Okay, first things first, there we are. So I'm going to do another one. I don't want it to go too close to the middle. I want to leave a little bit in the middle. So I'm going to do another one, like coming off the back of this one, like so, and along. Again, it's got kind of a wobble there. That's fine. I'm going to do one here. Make this a little bit smaller, maybe. In and around little hook shapes. And I'm going to put one going this way. This one, look, isn't touching this time. Well, sort of is when it gets to there. I've got a bit of a shape going on. Okay. So let's turn it round. Actually, I'll do this side first. I'm going to do something similar, but again, I don't want them touching. I want a little bit of a gap in the middle there. So there's our first one. So we go quite, relatively straightforward today. Nobody wants a stressful Friday, do they? Let's face it, we've had enough this week. So we're just going with the flow here. Literally, the flow. Okay, let's put another one there. So I'm not trying to copy what's already been, but they're kind of similar shapes. So, okay, see now on these two, so I've always gone to the left first. Same there. So this time I think I'm going to go to the right first. See how that looks. That feels weird, but I'm sure you out there have probably already gone to the right first. If you're right-handed, it makes a difference, doesn't it? Okay, hello everybody. It's nice to have you with me here. See, I'm going to go, see, I've still gone to the left there, look. I don't know, it doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter. Right? Don't worry about such little things, it's not necessary. Okay. So I've got a couple going on there as well. Let's turn it round. You see, I'm sort of working where I've got more of a space, so I'm not necessarily worried about going in the middle. Put one in there. Okay. Right, so I've got sort of even. I know 2 in each, so I need to put another one in here. So let's put one there, look. Oh, that was a slightly less of a hook and more of a bobble, but there we go. All right, so we've got sort of a few going on. So what I want to do now is I'm going to come in and put a few more in. So let's do these sort of shapes here. I'm going to turn each time. See, and I'm going to put another one in here. So they're not going to be the same, but I'm sort of filling that space in as I go. See, another one. Into this one. So what's the weather like where you are? Are you having these storms, having the rain? Or is it nice and sunny? We'd like sun right now, if I'm honest. That would be nice. Okay, see? Sort of work it around. So I'm going to have a look, see now where I've got a few gaps. So let's put one in. Sort of here. Now I'm going to sort of work just to ones now rather than twos. So what we're going to do in this corner, I'm going to bring them in sort of this way. See, perhaps one there, look, and one down there. I'm sort of filling my space in as I go. Let's just join that to the top. Let's put one in there. Then these. Okay, little bits there, look. So there, I'm not going to try and do anything particular, just putting another one in. So let's fill in my gaps with those shapes. So I've got a few in there, all sorted. See, no stress at all. As I say, we don't want any stress. So let's have a look around the outer edge now. I'm going to sort of pick, let's have a look, let's pick this one here. So what I want to do is I'm going to put a new shape inside that little gap there. So when I come to this one, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. See, like that. But then I'm going to bring it back up and create another new shape. See, one in there. And then this one, see, because I've got like a gap here, I could come and fill all of it, but I'm going to sort of wobble round a bit for shape. Still a little one there, look. Now here, I'm going to take off that corner. And then in we go with a little wobble there. And so this one again, fill in the shape. And this one, so it's going to get a little bit thin there, but that's okay. So some of them I'm having to kind of make my own shape off, but that's all right because it doesn't have to match anything else. It covers the corner, look. Let's do this one. And sort of keep it going like in and around. And the next one. And into that one. So easy to do this one, I think. A little bit scary if you don't like to do random, but you know, just kind of go with it. If you think you've got to follow a line, put one in, it's absolutely fine. So we're back to where we started. Okay, so let's have a look at these little spaces that we did now. So what I'm going to do is, let's go in a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to choose a way. Now I can go diagonally, I can go straight. I think I'm going to go diagonally. And where I've got this little space, look, I'm going to draw in some diagonal lines and fill it with that one. And again, whilst I'm doing this, I'm going to do all of them. So you need to be thinking, do you want to do them all with the same angle? Or do you want to sort of switch it up a little bit and do them at different angles? You see? So I've kind of got the piece at the right sort of angle that I'm going to draw these now. So that's the next one. So here, look, I could kind of help myself and pick up from there. Sometimes, you know, if you want to, you could always use a pencil and draw these lines across the whole piece and then just pick off the bits that you need. They don't have to be perfectly matched, you know that. Okay. So a little one there, look. There you go. And the next one. Sort of in and along we go. But you know, you want to make sure you're filling in the right bits. So if you need to put a little cross in each little section first, then do that, and then you don't have to worry about whether you're going in the right piece or not. Okay, let's have a little look at that. All right, see, so I've changed that up a little bit, hasn't it, doing that? So let's have a look. I'm going to stick to that corner. I'm going to continue to do them all going the same way, or as similar as I can get them anyway, unless I use a straight edge to follow it through. And again, So the narrower you put them together, the sort of like darker they appear. And if you only put a few in, then it's going to look a little bit lighter in there. And of course, if you want to, you can always continue this and create a grid. But I'm just going to go with the stripes today. So we don't want any more stress in our lives than we need. So let's take our time, look, into this one. So it's going to feel a bit weird tomorrow doing classes. We haven't done any since July, and this is our Stoke-on-Trent one, which we do once a year, so looking forward to going over down there. So it's going to be John and I. So all should go well there. And see, look, little lines. Same with this one. See, it's changing it up a bit, isn't it? And I stand by what I said on the last tile, that, you know, if you feel a little bit gloomy, under the weather, anything like that, go with a bright colour. It really helps make things better. Even if it's just for a little while you're drawing on it, it just brings a little bit of warmth into your day. Okay, let's do that one. Let's see, so following this all the way around, let's do this one then. So I wonder why I picked blue, do you think? It's a nice blue though, isn't it? It's a nice colour. Get it round, last one in there. Okay, so we've got this. So let's have a look at some of these little gaps now. So I'm going to come in sort of here, and I want to put myself some, well, I'm going to really reinforce them, look. Bubbles. Now I don't want to fill the whole thing. Just want to have a few in there, see? Like that. Let's put one in there, look. Couple up there. So see, not filling it, just having a few lying around as you do. Now, you know, sometimes random can be a bit awkward. If you find that's the case, you can do one there, look. Let's put one there. See, let's do a smaller one. So you see how I'm going around and putting them in different places? Just ones, so I don't have to think too much. Look, about where they're going, because it doesn't matter. And then I can go back after and I can add a few more in. Just means, you see as well, I've kind of kept them out of the centre there. Just bringing them in and doing little bits, like so. See? And this is a good way of doing anything. If you're drawing, do little bits of all over the piece, and then you can build it up together. Because if you do one corner and you do it really detailed, and then you kind of think, oh, I wish I hadn't have done that. You don't have to sort of carry it on, do you? You can say, right, well, that's enough. I always meant it to be that way. Let's have a little look. See? A couple more here. So, you know, you have a look at your piece and think, right, I need a few more there maybe, or I haven't got any in that corner. See, just a few. And again, I've kind of left a bit of a gap in the middle. I've done a couple of little gaps maybe, look. So we work our way around. Okay. Maybe one in there, look. Okay. All right, so I'm going to bring a bit of colour in. So I've got blue here. I'm going to bring my blues in. So let's have a little bit of dark sea blue. I love this colour. And I'm going to add some kind of at one edge. Let's go in a bit so you can see it. Here we go. See? Now, this is new tin off my side there, so I should really look, it's a bit flat on the end. I should actually just put them through the sharpener. Actually, let's just do that. There we go. See, literally one sharpen, that's way better. That's sorted the issue. So I'm just going to do that where I've got the blue, not where I've got the green. See? So let's bring a little bit of white in there. And again, see, it's hardly been touched, this one. So I'm just going to add a touch. See, much better. You can work with those. Let's give it a bit of a swirl round. Like that. There you go. All right. So I'm just going to bring a darker blue in there. I'm going to come in with, let's have a look, night sky. So again, just look, one go around in my sharpener. I'm just going to add a little bit to the edge there, just making it dark, like so. Still going to bring that blue in again. And sort of blend that just ever so slightly in there. Okay. So greens then. Let's bring in that grass green. And just give me a second. Just going to shut that door. I'm gonna lie. There we go. That's the beauty of a working department. So, John's trying to fix something outside. Okay, right. Where was I? Grass green. Grass green. Here we go. Oh, oh dear. Let's try that again. A bit more sharper. Do. Okay. Now I'm putting the same kind of line, it's the same angle as all the others. I'm following that shape round. See, so I'm not overdoing it with the colour. They're only little, so I'll be doing a massive amount there. But you know, find each one and just give it a little bit of a touch with that colour. As we wander in. Okay. So I'm going to come in with. Now I could use my sunny green, but do you know what? I'm not going to, because it's a little bit yellowy, isn't it? So let's have a look at light summer yellow, and let's put a little bit of that in. Oh, let's take that bit off. Let's see, that just gives it that little bit of colour in there. You see? Just going to move out a little bit. See, these ones here, I can come back in. I'm going to go with a white gel pen and add a little bit of white to those, but for the most part, I'm colouring them in. Okay. All right. And again, just like before, I want to use a colour that's a little bit darker. So let's bring in my deep green. And sort of just on the edge. Fill that in. Just like I did with the blue before. I'm just putting a little bit on that edge there. And I don't think I'm going to need to really blend that in much. They're only small anyway. Okay. So regular pencil now. What I want to do is, in all these little sort of stripy shapes, I want to add pencil. So follow the shape round. You know, you don't have to go completely all around. Just put yourself a little bit in. Remember that if you've got a small space, you don't need as much pencil. All right, into those bits. And along there. So, you know, don't be too shy with it. You know, you've got plenty of space. You can be doing this in most of them. Just when you get to those smaller ones, just be aware you're not going to put as much in. See? Just kind of wander it like that. Do you see what's happening? Look, you can see the difference and how that sort of does its shape. Oh, Wendy, we did it with Finley last week. Oh, Rose, a sneaky peek for Monday. Does that mean I've had time to do anything new? No. Let me think. We've just been talking about animals, haven't we? Because could that be a little bit of a clue? Gonna go a little bit gothic in places, maybe. So the bits and pieces. I don't actually have the paperwork here, just the stencil. So just there. Give me a moment. So I'm going around all of those little pieces there, even that one in the corner. Look at the difference that's made. Tortillon. And let's soften them off. Again, trying to leave a little bit in the middle if you can. This one is going to be impossible because it's really thin. But you know, just soften it off as best you can. Okay. There you go. So it just sort of gives it a little bit of depth in there, doesn't it? And moving it around. So, yeah, it's been a busy old week here at what we're now calling Sanntangle House, although the sign's not up yet. It's being done, it's on its way, so to speak. Our vinyl flooring has arrived, and, but we're not doing that yet. Rose, with regards to the new stencils, yes, they are. It's just Alice normally does the website and she's been away. So we've had a little bit to deal with here over the last few days. So they've not gone on, but yes, absolutely. I'm going to send her the information and I'm sure she'll get those put on for you. So for sure for Monday, we'll have that done. Okay. All right. So, I must admit, actually, I am looking forward to tomorrow, to getting out and about and come and say hello to everybody. I think we need a little bit of positive energy from all round. I'm sure lots of you said a lot of prayers yesterday, I'm not going to lie. And it came into a slightly better place than we expected we would have. See, I've kind of loosely gone round the middle. Oh, thanks, Rose. Yeah, it'll be Monday because we've got to put the new ones on anyway. So let's soften all that up. Oh, hello, Joanne. In and along there. So it just sort of gives that a little bit of a sense of a shape as well. So we're going to keep it quite sort of straightforward and laid back today. Nothing too crazy at all. I just want to have a little bit of time just to chill out. I think it needs a little bit down there. Right. So I've not really gone into massive detail, although what I do want to do is bring my black pencil in. Okay, just a bit of a twist round, and where you've got these bits, in the little crevices there, let's just darken that up a bit. I'm going to gently ease it out into the pencil that I've already shaded there. Oh, you've had one of those days today, Joe. I don't know, we're a little bit, I don't know the word is today. We're kind of getting on with things as best we can, so. Okay. So you see it's just in those little kind of V shapes there, just extending that colour out a bit. You see how it's making a slight difference. Just be really light with it. You don't want to have to start blending that in and things like that. We just want to have a little bit of a touch, like so. See there, because I don't have a V, I'm not going to do it. So, you can't really see that. Again, let's just pick a little bit of this out. Let's go in. I'm going to go for that right-hand side there. So my little rule now is everything that's on the right-hand side is going to get a little bit of black. Maureen, you always have a crazy week. I don't know if you ever had a normal week. I'm sure your life is full of craziness. Oh, Wendy, I know. There have been some people here today. I think they found out kind of what the problem is, but they've got to go back to him and say, this is the problem. Don't think it's an easy sort, though. But I don't know. All we can do is just, carry on, can't we? And do the best we can in the situation we're in, so. Yeah. Okay, look at the difference that's made. See, just going in and adding some of that on. It's amazing how it builds up, isn't it? Look at that. Okay, so you see here where I've got this little bit of lightness. Just going to help it along a bit. I'm just going to make sure, look, I haven't got any colour on the tip of my white pencil. Just going to add a little bit of white in there. Just to sort of really make it light. Okay. I know, Rose. Yeah, Dobby had got his life jacket on, so, but he's refused to come into the office today. I think he's been having a little bit too much cake with his tea, and his life jacket was a bit tight. And he was like, no, I'm not doing that. Oh no, Maureen. What are you like? I don't know. Jeez. Okay. See, so I'm just coming in with that gel pen. And any of those little dots I've not filled with ink yet, so I'm just going to fill with ink. Okay. So while I'm at it, where I've got those darker bits, I can come in, look, and add a little bit of a highlight. Just a dot, really. It's nothing crazy special there, but it does make a huge difference. Look, there you go. See, just a little dot where the darkness is. And this is you use your white pen, things like this a lot, because you can't do this with your chalk pencil or your regular white pencil. So it always helps having this handy in your bag. All right, so last thing to do now, a bit of an initial on it. So I'm going to find a space. I'm going to go here, look, right down there. And there we go. So nice, simple, straightforward little tile. I think I could even go in and ink around the edge a little bit if I wanted to, with a bit of darker ink. But I know, who knows, you can do that. So have a bit of a play with it. This would make a nice little border, a little, that you could put then a little sentiment in the middle if you wanted to have it as a little card topper. So not too sort of serious. It's not too of a long time to do, but just a little bit of me time, a little bit of enjoyment. So, okay, with that all done and sorted, I have got, I say, the stencils. Just give me 1 second if I can find them. I've been playing around with a few of them. Okay, so what can I show you? What can I show you? So we've got this one. This is part of one. Oh, and we've got this one, which I've numbered. Wonder what that does. Wonder what that does. And then this one. Oh, look at that. What on earth could that be? What on earth could that be? So I do apologise. I don't have the paperwork here with me. It's been printed downstairs. But that really is a bit of a sneak peek. So, okay, I hope everything goes all right. Everybody have a lovely weekend. I'll catch some of you tomorrow in Stoke. But other than that, see you all on Monday for Hobby Maker. So have a good one and see you soon. Bye.